Hi, my name is Howard Thrada and I'm a New York City-based fashion stylist. I have done test shoots with local photographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, and models. I'm going to walk you through my portfolio and let's get into it. So here's the cover page, a little bit of everything I've done in the last year. I've been really intentional with my styling lately. So for the ideal client mood board, I went with Dolce. I think of Dolce as a boss girl. Like, I chose to go with the alter ego video shoot because I feel like with that I think of power suits, so I went with like a power jacket, big shoulder blazer. I went with like gloves, so like latex glove. I think of like femme power. That's how I think about like sexiness, dominatrix vibes. I went with like these really tall chunky heels, and then I wanted to play with shadows, so I put more color in the eye, and I wanted the tights to match. So a little bit of a maximalist mixing with that dark, slight grungy look. And then I added like a purple corset to offset it. Like when I think of style, I always like to like pair like one color off that you wouldn't expect to be in a look. And I feel like with Dolce, she's not afraid to be different or stand out, and she can come off differently depending on the vibe. She can come with little bit to no clothes, or she could have a whole bunch of clothes on. So it depends on her mood, and it depends on the message she wants to send to her audience. For the personal styling project, I decided to style my friend Samantha. She's 27, she's a tech design assistant, and she lives in New York, like me. So yeah, she's active, she's network heavy, and her style, you would describe it as like earthy grunge aesthetic, like goddess meets alt, right? So I came up with a couple of looks for her, and she actually loved them, but then she gave me some suggestions how to improve them. So I went with this like ruffle top, and then like, you know, jewelry. I picked a lot of the autumn season colors because that's who she is. So I went based off the colors that complement her, and I play with a lot of layers. The looks are very fun. They're youthful. They look like a 27-year-old would wear. And then I play with headpieces. I play with cutouts. I play with lace. I play with mesh. I play with things that have fullness. I play with boots. My girl loves boots, so I definitely wanted to put that on her. My mission statement is to create visually compelling fashion stories through editorial styling that blend creativity, culture, and individuality. My goal is to use styling as a form of artistic expression while helping bring innovative concepts and narratives to life through fashion imagery and digital media. So my goal is really to be using my goal is to grow and create a brand where it's visually appealing. It transfers into events, it transfers into like a podcast, a magazine. Eventually I want my fashion to be a storytelling, I want it to be a story. I don't know how to I want my fashion styling to evolve into different avenues. I want to use my fashion style abilities to transfer different avenues, whether it's magazines, podcasts, a digital magazine, any of these things, just to help translate storytelling in different ways and to teach people. My vision statement: to become a recognized editorial stylist, a creative visionary with the fashion industry, known for producing impactful visual storytelling that inspires confidence, emotion, and artistic expression across fashion, media, and digital platforms. Like I said, yeah. So here's one of the projects I did last year. It's called Soft versus Strong, and I collaborated with a photographer, models, makeup artists. I came up with 6 looks solely on my own based off what she said. So we have light, we have dark. I play with reds, I play with whites. I actually had to source and pull clothes from a friend who has a fashion line. These are the looks this is one of the looks. So we used some pieces from my friend's lines, EB by Yemi, and then I styled it with some shoes, earrings, just to set it off because it is a black look. Button down in the final picture, lots of pearls, a white balloon skirt. Skirt was a perfect fit. I was so surprised. It was a perfect fit because I actually went to other people's clothes to source it. So some of the clothes were like thrifted, some of the clothes were pulled from a designer's showroom. I put some like red black kitten heels, silver jewelry. I'm silver down today, aren't I? And then we played with like, the idea was from the start to always have like rhinestones, makeup, and to lots of pearls. So I incorporated that in this look, and I loved it. She's so beautiful. So then Actually, early in the year, I did a Coney Island test shoot, and this is one of the looks I actually styled using like Pretty Little Thing heels. I believe the dress is from probably Jaded London, but I might be wrong. But I didn't source the garment, so apologies for that. And then the earrings, I actually added it off to set it off the dress, and then we used the lifesaver as an accessory, and this model actually really killed it. She did a great job, and my job was on this as an assistant stylist, so I just came and added some pieces to it. There was a main stylist, and I was just there as a helping hand. But this look, I had most hands on deck for this one. During the summer of 2025, I actually did my own shoot called Melanin Bloom. I was the creative director and the stylist for this. I love this idea down. Like, this was a beautiful project. I did an amazing job. It was a lot, you know, being in charge completely, but it showed me how to be a boss lady when it comes to doing your own projects. I had 3 models. I sourced the garments from a designer out in Brooklyn, an African designer. Hey girl, El Dior Sadek. She's amazing. She had me pull out a few pieces. I actually tried them on myself. They all fit me perfectly. And then I went to go get models involved. I had a makeup artist involved, hairstylists involved who did my hair. I'm actually the girl in the yellow. So yeah, like, so I had the makeup artist do my hair, another one of the models' hair. I got the accessories. Like, I fully funded this whole shoot on my own. It was beautiful. It showed me how to be a better collaborator, how to be a better creative, how to be a better creative director, all that above. So then I also, in September 2025, I held a thrift shop called Modified. Oh my God, I know y'all saying, this girl's still talking. Yeah, my portfolio's long. Modified Thrift Shop. So it's a marketing campaign for the thrift shop. They recently opened in Harlem, in the West Side, and it's basically modest clothing. I did like basically characters. So the first round of clothes were all cultural. So we had like a mature West African girl, then we had an East Asian girl, and then I had a modern day or like a more youthful looking West African girl. And play with the bazin, would you call, not the, sorry, but I forgot the name of this, but, and they play with like abayas and all these things. And yeah, like accessories, having them bring their cultural influences for this first concept. Then the second concept was more like modern day fashion. So we had a Parisian girl. I had a modern day West African girl, more of a modern day West African girl, and then I have a maximalist modest girl. So all these girls are modest. They dress modestly, and they're shopping at a modest thrift shop. So I thought of every way a modest girl could shop in a thrift shop. And then I did a shoot with Roy by Rollins. It was a brand shoot earlier in the year 2025. It's a shoe brand based out of Brooklyn, and I was an assistant, so the looks already all together, but I helped put all the looks together. I helped dress all the models. It was 2 models. It was about 10 looks that day, and we killed it. Then I had a maximalist fashion show. I created directed an event called Maximal, and I collaborated with Space to host this event, and I was the creative director. I came up with all the concept, having a designer showcase, and having a fashion show, and then ending it off with an after party. It was very cutesy. It was called the Maximalist Fashion Show. We had about 7 models, all showing maximalist fashion, and these are all the, I basically co-styled this with another co-stylist so I could be able to be on the floor while hosting the event or maintaining the event as the creative director. And I had another co-stylist helping me dress the girlies. So that made everything smoothly that day, because I made all the decks, I made all this, but I just needed someone strong in the back to make sure they carried out and executed looks fully while I wasn't there. But yeah, that's how collaborative. I'm very well at working with other people. I'm very well at being clear about directions, creating decks for people so they can follow through. There's more pictures from the show. The girls were beautiful. They were killing it, right? This is the last look. Beautiful. So then one of my most recent shoots is called The Rain Room, and I worked with one of the models I recently worked with on Maximal, and we did a rain room themed photo shoot. And for this first look, I was thinking about Tyler, I was thinking about Beyonce, I was thinking about like Cassie and all of them. So this is the first look. We used a 2-piece set from a brand that I started a few years ago. And I found these pants that I thrifted, and I like, let's put these together. And it was like the pants were last minute. Like, I was like, let me add this to this look because I think this could work. So I ended up put like red hoop earrings. My co-stylist had like a necklace that looked very Y2K. It was thousands coded, so it worked out. The second look was this lingerie set. We only put the lingerie bra, one of my bras again. And then my co-stylist had like a cheetah print raincoat, fire. Cheetah print and red could not do no wrong. And then I put some red tights on her. We put on some brown sunglasses, and she looked so good. Okay, she looked good. She understood the assignment and she killed it. And I feel like this look was the strongest look during this whole test shoot. The last look was more like, you know, Y2K racer girl vibe with a white tee. I actually just, you know, assisted with this one. But yeah, this one was cutesy. This is the cutesy one. Okay, everyone, that is the end of my presentation. I hope you got some insight of me as a stylist, and you hope to work with me in the future. I'm in New York City based. If you want to reach out to me, my email is hello.formofeve@gmail.com. Again, my email is hello.formofeve@gmail.com, and I can't wait to connect with you soon. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.